All right, so Halloween 2021. Yeah, we just got done seeing this movie. Went to go see it with a couple of friends. Thought I'd just get some quick thoughts on it. I was a pretty good fan of Halloween 2018. I believe that same Halloween season, I decided to just go ahead and binge watch all of the Halloween movies from beginning to end, starting with the original John Carpenter back in like 78, and then ending with whatever the most recent Halloween movie was at that point. I believe Resurrection or something like that in like the early 2000s. I don't know. Maybe the Rob Zombie one. I watched all of them. I watched all of them that I could find. So yeah, I mean, I guess you could consider myself a fan of the franchise now, just because I've seen all of them, and I really like the first one. The second one, I like that one as well. The third one, even though it's completely different from the first two and all the other movies, it's not a bad movie. You know what I mean? If you're looking for like a Halloween type movie to watch during that time of year, you could definitely watch that movie. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not what people were expecting. That doesn't mean it was bad though. Halloween 4, I believe that was the one where cults start getting involved. No, I don't know. I think that was the fifth one. They kind of started going downhill after that, I'm not going to lie. But there were still good ones. Like, I didn't hate Resurrection. I think that was, or was that H2O or something like that? H20. That one wasn't terrible. The Rob Zombie one, for all of his faults, like, it was an interesting take on the franchise, you know what I mean? There's stuff to like in all of them, so I could consider myself somewhat of a fan of the franchise, you know what I mean, of the characters and everything like that. And we went to go see Halloween 2018, and I really liked it. I remember coming out of the theater really liking it. Now, to be fair, I have not seen the movie after, we watched it in the theater in 2018. I did not watch it a single time after that, from there until now. So that was like 2021. That's like 3 years from now, 3 years ago. I still remember a good bit about it and everything like that. It was pretty memorable. I really enjoyed it. So as somebody who really enjoyed the 2018 remake, I gotta say, after coming out of this one, not huge on it, this most recent installment, Halloween Kills. To be fair, I did see Halloween 2018. I think I was seeing it with my brother, maybe some couple other friends or something like that. And it was in the blackest theater that we could possibly find. And I must admit that did enhance the experience a good bit. Yeah, I will never forget, actually, when we went to go see that movie in that theater, there was this loud, animated black woman who was talking all throughout the movie. It was very entertaining. There was this one point in the Halloween 2018 movie where Michael's creeping through a house with a mother and a child, and he's kind of over the crib of the child, and he's kind of looking at it. He got the knife and everything like that, and this black lady, she like, "Oh, don't you do it, Michael, don't you do it, don't you hurt that child." And he doesn't hurt the child, but he does immediately go on to murder the child's mother. So it'd be like that. But nah, like it definitely adds to the experience, to say the least. We tried to do a very similar thing for this one. The theater was not quite as black, but once again, it was a very, very enjoyable experience, just because, when those kills are on screen, people are loud, people are being animated. That was a good time. It was definitely a good time regardless. But any movie could be a good time if you're gonna go and see it with friends. I'm trying to take away the enhancements of the environment, the movie watching environment, and just trying to view it a little bit more objectively. I will say, I was a little bit bored with this new one. There's a lot of, and again, I'm a fan of the franchise, so this is, I understand that this is kind of targeted towards me. There was a lot of references. It was very self-referential to previous entries in the franchise. They had a whole kind of remake of the first movie. In the first couple of minutes of the movie, you kind of call it a cold open. And to be fair, I have not seen the original. It's funny, we were actually at a tournament, and I was playing the movie. It was at the HQ Gaming Lounge over here in Greensboro. It was a Halloween themed tournament, so I was playing these Halloween movies on the projector while people were playing their matches and everything like that. So I saw bits and pieces of the original just because I was playing that movie along with other Halloween themed movies as well. So, but I've not sat down and watched the original Halloween movie in full since I saw them back in like 2018 or whenever it was I decided to binge all of those movies. But even then, I still caught a lot of those references that this movie was trying to throw at you. There's only like one or two references that I didn't catch. Going and or watching some content, watching some reviews, trying to see how they matched up with my opinions and everything like that after I had some time to, stew on it and stew on my own opinion. Like, a lot of the movie does take place in a hospital. I did not catch that was sort of supposed to be a reference to the second movie. There's a couple of other ones, small ones like that, but yeah, there are a lot of references. I caught most of them and everything like that, and I guess I sort of appreciate it. But as somebody who hadn't seen these movies in a while, so I was just kind of barely catching like glimpses, and it's like, oh yeah, wasn't that a character from the blah blah blah? You know what I mean? Like, it was even kind of boring for me. So I would hate to be that guy who had never seen a Halloween movie, knows nothing about the lore or the franchise or the story or the characters, and there's all these references and they're naming all these people and talking about all these events as if you're supposed to like get it, and you just don't. Like, they're treating it like it's a Marvel movie or something like that. But even Marvel movies, they do a pretty good job at they know there's hundreds of hours of content of movies, story, and characters leading up to a lot of these movies, so they do a decent job at least giving you hints or cluing you into, or doing their best to kind of explain like what these characters are, what they're about, so you can at least follow along. Now, the experience will be enhanced if you did see those previous movies, but it's not necessary. I kind of feel like at least watching the original, the Halloween 1978, is necessary to watch this movie, to at least to follow along and fully enjoy it. You can kind of get the gist of it, but you know what I mean, like there's characters from that original movie that are main characters in this one, and you know what I mean, you don't really get their to be fair, they do explain a lot of that in the movie, and it's kind of heavy-handed, and that's actually another reason why I find myself, you know what I mean, kind of dozing off and not really fucking with it as much as I should have, because yeah, they do just kind of sit there and explain a lot. There's a lot of exposition and everything like that, and I know that that's kind of how these slasher movies or horror movies kind of are. You know what I mean, you get the horror and the kills and all that, whatever it is you want to see, and then it's just talking exposition until you get to the next set piece where the villain or whatever it is, he's gonna kill people or he's gonna do spooky things. But I feel like that's half the reason why the Halloween franchise is so revered and it's lasted as long as it has over the decades, is because it wasn't just that, especially the first one. It wasn't just, the first one was one of the first slasher flicks that ever existed and kind of helped establish that franchise and a lot of tropes associated with it. But it wasn't just, kills, exposition, boring shit you don't care about, kills, boring shit you don't care about. Like, there was stalking, there was suspense, there was atmosphere. The whole stalking leading up to the kills was almost just as entertaining as the kills themselves. And it's hard to say that for this movie. Now, this movie is best when Michael Myers is on screen or is suspected to be on screen. When he's stalking, when he's doing his thing, and then of course when he fucking actually gets down and dirty and starts killing, though you can't beat that. If that's what you're coming to see this movie for, you're definitely gonna get that. You're gonna get what you paid for. There's a lot of it. I can't say that I wish there was more. There was plenty there, and it was definitely very entertaining, to say the least. However, these movies are being streamed now. Like, you could just go online and find clips. You can just find the kill count, compilation on YouTube or whatever it is. Like, you could see those clips and you'll get the best parts of the movie. All the rest of it, you genuinely just don't. Especially if you don't care about this franchise or any of the characters or any of the plot at all. It's not doing anything for you. I'm gonna be honest to you. Now, apparently, I had no clue that this was supposed to be a trilogy. Like, I didn't go in knowing that. I just thought, okay, this is gonna be a sequel to the 2018 one, and I really like that one. Of course there probably will be sequels, but I wasn't going into it in mind, with that in mind, like, oh, this is a second in a trilogy of movies. So apparently there already is a movie greenlit and being worked on in early development right now called Halloween Ends, which is supposed to be the third movie in this trilogy, and I didn't even know that. So that in mind, it does make a lot more sense, because when you're watching it with that knowledge, you start to understand, oh, okay, this is the second movie in the trilogy. It's suffering from a lot of problems that are associated with trilogies. There's one in the middle, it kind of feels disposable, because not a lot can happen, because that certain key characters need to stay and certain things can and can't happen because they need to show up in the third movie and everything like that. So it does kind of make sense when you have that in mind. And that just, it goes even more to the point. You can watch a highlight reel, man. You can watch the kill counters You know what I mean? You can watch those clips and everything like that and share those around, and you're getting pretty much the same experience. You're getting the best of the experience. Actually, you're getting the best of compilation. You really don't need to sit down and watch through the whole movie. The new characters introduced were not interesting. They're not intriguing really by any means. Some of them were the bare minimum entertaining and amusing to watch, but they're really just fodder. They're really just there for Michael to just show up and kill him in entertaining ways. Now I will say Michael, he's the star of the show. This is his movie. You know what I mean? He definitely puts on a show when he's there to kill these fucking boring ass. You're honestly almost cheering for him, just so it's like, bro, get these boring ass niggas off my screen, please. You know what I mean? So Michael does deliver in that regard, but like I'm saying, man, the gist of the story is it's kind of boring. Yeah, there's some messaging in there. Yes, there's some themes in there. Some people will say it's heavy-handed. Some people may not care as much. For me, it didn't do it for me. The movie thought it was a lot smarter than it actually was, in my opinion. I was not buying it. I just like seeing Michael go around, kill people and everything like that. That's when the movie was at its best. Everything else you could skip. Go watch a highlight reel. That's gonna be my review for it. I was always thinking, like, what type of scale would I want to do for like a movie review and everything like that. And I get that this is kind of like a meme, because I usually do some disposable Halloween movie every year, and this time I'm actually reviewing the Halloween movie that came out this year. I don't like numbered systems at all, and I remember I had a really good idea for one years ago, and I didn't write it down, so I forgot it. So for the sake of the joke and for the meme, I'll just do it based off of a 1 to 10 scale. 10 being a perfect movie, which doesn't exist. 1 being a non-movie, which also doesn't exist. So essentially it's like a 2 to 9 scale. But I would definitely give the 5 being average as well. A lot of people don't understand that, you know what I mean, a 5 is just an average movie, a disposable movie. It's completely fine. It does what it needs to do. It entertained me while I was watching it. That's what a 5 means. So I'd say I'd probably give this either a 5 or a 4.5. Like ever so slightly below average or completely average, because as a Halloween movie, a movie to watch during Halloween, you want to see the slasher flick, you want to see Michael go around, kill people, I mean, yeah, this will do it for you. Yeah, it accomplishes its goals in that sense. You can watch this movie during Halloween at a spooky time, you know what I mean? Go take the kids, go take the fam, go take the wife, go take the significant other. Y'all can go watch this and it'll be fun. But let's be real. After this year, who's going to be watching this one? You're either going to go watch 2018, you're going to go watch the original, maybe the second one, maybe some of the other ones in that trilogy. You might go watch some Elm Street movies. You might go watch Friday the 13th movie. There's so many better ones you could watch, bruh. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many better ones. You know what I mean? Even, like, the really shitty, you know what I mean, teen movies that are targeted towards, like, teenagers and everything like that. The young adult movies. You know what I mean? Even those. At least those might be a little bit more entertaining in some regards than this one. This one really just has Michael Myers, and that's about it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I couldn't see myself going back to watch this one. Hell no. Like if I need to go, we're doing another tournament or whatever it is, and I need to show a movie on the projector for everyone to watch, like we did this year, you think I'm throwing on this? Well, I could just go and watch the original or go watch any other plethora of, like, movies. There's so many movies. Even the Purge movies. I throw on the Purge on that playlist. You know what I mean? The first and second one. All of the Purges, honestly. The Purge, like, that's carried just by concept alone. The concept's interesting enough to just throw that on the screen. You know what I mean? But this, where's the concept? Niggas gonna be asleep. Like, there's nothing. There's so much of the movie that's just, like, doesn't need to be there for the average person. You feel me? So, yeah, hell no, man. Yeah, that gotta be a 4 out of 5, honestly. Because even in the one thing it's doing, there's other movies that do it better. And that's sad to say. For a franchise as storied and as experienced. It's been around, you know what I mean? It's been around for decades. 1978 is when the first one came out. That's kind of sad to say for a movie like Halloween, though, Halloween franchise. So, you know, it'd be like that sometimes. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5, and that's about it. It's lit.